All right, look, on my channel, we get straight to the content. So listen, man. So I'm listening to Joe Budden's talk to the cast, right? And they having a conversation about Fat Joe, right? If you haven't been following, just Fat Joe just got a lot of shenanigans. Like he's doing a lot. At one point, he did take a little cheap shot at Joe, calling it the Joe Budden seeds, whatever, right? Fat Joe was arguing with FBAs. I'm not going into an FBA deep dive, but he was like one of those people really arguing with referring to like foundational Black Americans as broke and saying how Puerto Ricans help start hip hop and this and that and that and this, right? So he's been doing a lot. He tell a lot of stories. They lies, right? So Joe is trying to have a conversation with Parks, Ish, Ice, Queens Flip, somebody else. Mark Lamont Hill, yeah. Right? So this ain't gonna be the longest video, but it's so demoralizing that the cast can't have a serious conversation about nothing because they have no depth in their thoughts, right? So Joe is trying to say something and the cast isn't picking it up. So it has to do with the Bone Thugs, right? So instead of the most iconic part of the song being, and I miss my Uncle Charles, y'all, right? Fat Joe is on his podcast with Jadakiss, and he says, oh, I thought it was, I miss my Uncle Georgia, right? Now, Joe Budden goes to say, like, how could he mistake that? That's an iconic John. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. If you're a hip hop fan, we all hip hop fans. Fat Joe is clearly a hip hop fan. Some of these bars, some of these songs, some of these hooks, they are so iconic. It ain't just, oh, I messed up the lyric. No, this is like iconic stuff. You know what I mean? This is like a dorky sub. Like, let me go on a side quest real quick. Some of these bars are like legendary. Now, I'm gonna say this is legendary. I'm not trying to say it's the most influential bar, but it was influential at the time. Yo, Cameron saying getting computers Putin, that was a moment in hip hop. Like, it's some of these bars, even 50 Cent saying, I smell, is that you, Irv? I smell, is that you, Ja? Like, these are historical moments in hip hop with bars, right? So, Miss My Uncle Charles, you can't mess that up. So basically, Joe Buttons is asking, hey, is he messing this up because he really don't know? Or is he trolling? Meaning, not trolling. Is Fat Joe becoming comfortable poking fun at Black American culture? That's what Joe Buttons is trying to say to this cast, and they act so stupid, right? So then, like, I listen to the podcast a lot. Everybody listens to the podcast a lot. You know what I'm saying? So we used to certain narratives. Of course, Queens Flip, and I did my last video about DJ Academics, right? Of course, Queens Flip is going to say to Joe Buttons, yo, you being too harsh, man. He just messed up a lyric. Yo, because Queens Flip is not of the culture, yo. He's not. Queens Flip is what you call a culture vulture. I don't care what black people he grew up around with, whatever. He is a culture vulture. So he's going to have that approach because he's not a Black American. He don't take pride in the culture. Certain things, certain aspects of Black culture, we hold to a higher standard. You got Ice on the pod, and like, listen, I like Ice's music, his opinions and stuff like that. You know what I mean? When Ice talk about music, he at his best. Ice don't really relate to Black culture like that either. He's kind of that C word that I don't want to say because it's only 4 minutes, but it's like he's kind of oonish. Put a C on the front of that. We already know how he is. So, of course, he's going to look at it like, well, it's not a big deal. Da, da, da. And then the most disappointing one, like Mark Lamont Hill, you already know he got a kid that speaks Spanish and don't speak English, right? But he's so pro-Black. But anyway, even Ish, like Ish don't really, the more Ish talk, he really don't know nothing. He doesn't research topics. He freestyles on every topic. And it's like the fact that no one is picking up what Joe is putting down is because they're so dense in the way they think, yo. Fat Joe has been on a tear for the past 2 years of poking fun at black culture. A culture that he has emulated his whole career. He has made money, millions of dollars, seen mass success off of black culture. And now every time you turn around, he's like not taking black culture serious. And that is something. I'm not saying it's the end of the world, because at the end of the day, I don't care who doesn't respect black culture, because it's my culture. I respect it. And we the wave. You know what I'm saying? And Joe isn't even trying to make people look at Fat Joe away, but he's saying, why don't y'all think it's weird that he's having a habit of poking fun at black culture? These are the conversations that could be really good on a podcast, but like they're all grown men, you know what I'm saying? And I do feel like sometimes Joe is like overcritical type stuff, but it's just like he can't have those conversations because people aren't well researched, or they're so dense, or they have no pride. It's certain things about black culture that it's certain things that are considered black culture that I don't consider black culture. But I take pride in our culture. Just like you, if you black like me, you take pride in the culture. Yo, like for Joe to have a conversation and he on there with a bunch of dudes that don't even understand black culture for real, let alone take pride in it, it's kind of demoralizing, because that could have been a really good topic. Because from that topic, we could talk about dudes like Fat Joe, dudes like even Queens Flip. Like, when will black Americans stop being so friendly with the culture? Now, when you're friendly with the culture, you get dudes like Parks. And Parks is like really into the culture type thing. You know what I mean? Like, he's really into hip hop. He's really into urban culture, black culture, whatever, right? But too many times, like, I can't just go join Jamaican culture. I can't just go join Haitian culture. I can't just go join Italian culture and then criticize their culture. And then as I'm criticizing it, poke fun at it. I can't do that. But black people are so, like, we include everybody that you get these people that leech off the culture and then turn their back. It's the same thing with DJ Academics. Every time you turn around, DJ Academics is disrespecting black Americans. He make a living off black Americans. He always got a derogatory comment towards black Americans. He make a living off black Americans, literally covering black Americans. When it's another culture, he's quick to uplift them. When it's black culture, he's quick to try to diminish stuff. Like, it's funny because DJ Academics started talking about like a Hove battle. We don't expect you to understand anything about Jay-Z, and we don't care. It's like, I got a daughter. My daughter loved Drake. I had love for Drake, right? In certain ways, Drake might get skunked going against Hove. But in my daughter's age demographic, Hove might not get one win against Drake. You know what I mean? This is a cultural conversation. This is why I do enjoy verses. Verses is like a cultural thing where, oh, you don't know that Drake had a big song called Hotline Bling, and in the verses, in my age demographic, Joe Budden's demographic, Hove might play lobster and shrimp and beat Hotline Bling. Like, you don't know that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've been noticing Fat Joe's a clown. He's been a clown. I don't know why y'all deal with Fat Joe, but Joe was trying to have a good, interesting conversation, and these dudes is just buffoons with it, bro. Like, Fat Joe should know bars if he's a rapper, especially in the era we grew up. And if he's trolling and he really knew it was Miss My Uncle Charles, we got to look at it. Why are you poking fun at stuff now? Why are you always criticizing? Like, why are you acting weird, bro? Somebody need to, why you was coming at the foundational black Americans, bro? Because we was just talking about hip hop and how that's ours. It's ours, bro. Fat Joe, you ain't got no, like, Fat Joe, okay, you got, like, Fat Joe dress or whatever. You never control how people dressed out here. You never control the culture. It's the Bad Bunny conversation. Ain't nobody trying to dress like Bad Bunny. He ain't got a chokehold on the culture. Black American culture be having a chokehold on the culture type stuff. You know what I mean? What an airball by Joe, and it wasn't his fault. These dudes is just dense. Like I said, I'm going to hit y'all back in another video. Like, subscribe, turn notifications on. I'm out.